Hello. You're muted.
Oh.
Hi, Arthur. How are you doing today?
You doing okay yourself, Delita?
I'm good. Hi, Matara.
Hello,
Hi.
Delita.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What's the time over there? It's 9, right?
9 p.m. sharp.
Okay. That's good. It's weird, the time difference between, like, we're in the same country.
Isn't it weird? And some places don't even change their time. It's so weird.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Have you been in a mastermind before?
I have not.
Okay, it's your first experience.
Yes, I'm excited. Rasha Lynn should be joining too. I think I was on a call with her before.
Yep, we will wait a little bit for people to join and then we will start. Let's see. So Arthur, you're still in the office?
Both are always.
All day in the office. Wow.
I know, man. We get here like 9, don't leave till 7, 8 sometimes. Don't ever leave.
Yeah.
Hostage to this place. But that's why I'm telling Cynthia, I gotta give me some better chairs to sit in because my back is killing me. I gotta get some good chairs to sit in. Good chair.
Yeah, I just got one here because I was sitting on the normal dining table chairs all day, so it's killing my back. That's why I bought one this week.
What you get? What kind of chair you get?
I got one from Walmart. It's like $60, but it's fine. Hey, Queen.
Background.
Okay, hello, Queen.
Yeah, looking at that background right there.
You look like definitely like a queen.
Like a boss. That's a boss lady right there.
I know.
Gotta upgrade my background.
I know. So do I.
Oh, she gonna start moving with it.
Y'all see Google come through for me?
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. So where you located at?
I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
I had a friend in Fort Lauderdale. I ain't seen him. Matter of fact, we served in the Marine Corps. His name is Westbrook. Last name is Westbrook. I ain't seen Westbrook since 1990. Nobody ain't seen it, man. I mean, like, we served together in the Marine Corps in Fort Lauderdale. I remember the Gators.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm originally from Texas, but I've been here in Fort Lauderdale since it made a year on the 17th, which was yesterday.
Okay, you new to the area then? Okay. You probably wasn't even born in 1990. I'm just telling my age.
Well, thank you. I was here. I was a little spring chicken, but I was here. I'm just 39.
Oh, okay. All right. Welcome to the. Okay, I understand. I mean, all these people always look young. I'm like, something will be going on with me in California, aging over here or something.
So it's the state that makes people age. Shall I move?
Everybody I see in Virginia, look young. I'm like, man, everybody I see, on the East Coast, like, is this aging gracefully, and I got here in 2002. So I'm like, maybe my haircut, maybe I got too much hair. But I'm like, man, Everybody look young.
Yeah, I got a lot of white hair since I arrived to the States, so
Yeah.
I will blame the country or the state, not not the age.
Absolutely.
Okay. Last week we had our first session of Mastermind. It was about, we are doing Mastermind about laws of growth. They are 15 laws by John Maxwell. Last week's Mastermind was about being intentional. I will share a little bit what we were talking about or what we discussed last week. Rosalind, have you been in a Mastermind before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so it's your first time. The idea of Mastermind is that it's a group of people, like-minded people who discuss certain idea from a certain book. The power of it is that it's like, I will ask triggering questions, some deep questions for you to think more about your situation, your life. It's close to coaching, but it's more powerful because you benefit from the experience of other people joining the group. And at the same time, you share your experience with them. That's why it's very friendly environment, supportive environment, and you will get a lot out of it. In last week's Mastermind, we talked about the laws of growth. The first law, that is intentionality. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So mainly, most people think that they have to get their education and stop education when they get the degree, and that's it. Then they will start working. But the truth is, this is when the growth shall start, and people should keep working on their skills, on their abilities, and understand themselves more. Most people wait for growth as accidental growth when they face a certain hardship or certain problem. This problem is what grows them. While intentional growth is what leaders do, what successful people do, they take responsibility to grow. They adapt positive habits, good habits, and they are life learners. If you see the difference between accidental growth and intentional growth, accidental growth plans to start tomorrow. They always, like any responsibility, any problem, they postpone it to the other day, while intentional growth, they start right now. Accidental, they wait for growth to come. Intentional, they take responsibility right now. Accidental, they learn from their mistakes. Intentional, they learn before mistakes, maybe from the mistakes of others, maybe from the stories they read, but they are always looking for different solutions and options. Accidental, they depend on good luck. Intentional, they rely on hard work. Accidental, they quit early and often. Intentional, they have perseverance, they work hard and long. They wait a lot before they think even to quit, and sometimes they don't quit. Accidental, they fall into bad habits. Intentional, fight for good habits. Talk big, follow through. They don't, like they say, walk the talk, not talk that talk only. Play it safe, takes risks, think like victim, think like a learner, rely on talent, rely on character, stop learning after graduating, never stop learning. Now, I will send this picture I have a Facebook group, and I will send this picture, and I would like if you can grade yourself in each of the points. There's no any person who is 100% intentional or 100% accidental. Usually we have weak points and we have strong points. So it's important to measure anything we want to improve. We can't start improving things without measuring. So that's the first thing we discussed last week, the importance of being intentional in our growth journey. The second thing we discussed are the gaps that stop people from growing. We have the assumption gap. They think they will automatically grow. The knowledge gap, I don't know how to grow. Many people, they say, I know self-development is important, but how can I do it? The timing gap, it's not the right time to grow. They always postpone. The mistake gap, they are scared to make mistakes, to go into any adventure or risk because they are scared of mistakes. Perfection, they need to have things perfect. You've heard of people who say, no, I won't start this project unless it's perfect. And the truth is, it gets better when you start working on it. Inspiration, they don't feel like growing. They don't have the motivation. Comparison, they compare themselves to other people and think other people are long ahead of them, so they can't catch up, so they give up. And expectation also, they thought it's easier than this. So these gaps are usually the reasons why most people don't pursue self-development. And each one of them also have one of these problems that stops them or limits them at one stage. Can you think of any one of these that may stop you from self-development, or maybe a limiting behavior that's holding you a little back?
I'd say for me in the beginning, it was the comparison gap always. And sometimes I'm going to admit, sometimes it still gets me because I think that, you know, the mistake that the worst mistake we can make is compare ourselves to other people. Oh, that person is became successful a lot faster, or that person did this sooner than me. But everybody's situation is different, so that's why we cannot compare. As long as we're trying and we're doing everything that we cannot compare, because that can stop us from moving forward, you know, because we're so busy comparing and what other people are doing that we don't focus on what we need to do.
Yeah, exactly. Any one of you like to share what's one of the biggest gaps that's limiting you?
I would say,
Yep.
for me, probably perfection gap. I like them. I like things to be in order. I like to look at people who've done things before me and get the nuggets from them and try to line up like they already have it, but not knowing you have to go through a process to get to that. You can't just skip always. And I like to feel like I can skip over certain processes and just get there because I can see the vision, or I might already know ahead of time. I try to be a perfectionist.
Okay, how can you overcome this gap?
By just starting wherever I'm at and continue to build and putting the time and the work and the effort in to come up to build up to the perfection. You have to go through failure, I feel like, in order to grow and even know how much more you need to grow into or much you need to learn. You need to not know some things in order to seek and get better.
Yep. Okay. Anyone more like to share before moving to this week's session?
I don't know. I think I probably need more is probably the expectation gap. I kind of always assume that, you know, when I get in, it's going to be better. It's going to be easier. My mindset's like, hey, it's going to be easier than you get into it. It's like, I guess it's not, you know, so you always, you know, within the expectation gap, I thought it would be easier than it is. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you notice, most like the people the people who are attending this mastermind are leaders and are successful people in their domain of work, but there's still some gaps that are stopping them from, or I don't want to say stop, but limiting their advancement. Each one of us have a weak point. So it's important to understand, if we have a weak point and we are leaders, we need to understand what weak points may stop our teams from improving and succeeding in their in pursuing their dreams or their career. I will stop to sharing so I can see all of you clear. And I need to start with the law of awareness. Last week, I asked everyone to what is their growth plan? Self-development is important. Personal growth is important, but very low number of people who really have a growth plan, know what they what is required to improve and where they are going. So can you share with me your growth plan if you have one?
Well, well, my growth plan is that for 2020, I'm gonna say for 2020. I'm thinking about, I always want to become a better version of me. So it's kind of funny because I tell people that you got to be intentional. So everything I do, I'll be intentional about it. If I'm going to get up early in the morning, if I'm going to read a book, or no matter what I'm doing, I'm making sure it's intentional because I'm searching for a better half of me, a better version of Arthur. Stuff, reading books, right? Staying away from negative stuff, right? I think engaging in positive conversations, understanding that, hey, everything that happens has a meaning. That meaning falls on me. So how I see it is how I feel and stuff. So I try to make sure I stay in a positive mindset all the time. And I think that's my growth for the year. Is like, hey, I'm going to focus on positivity. Everything's meant to be. And if it's not meant to be, then I still can't control and move on. So that's my growth plan, is just continue to build myself, become a better version of Arthur. Yeah.
Okay. When you say better version of Arthur right now, can you give a description of what is the path that you want to be improving in?
Yeah, patience.
Okay.
I think that, spending time in the Marine Corps, I lack patience. I really do. Patient, maybe empathy. I think everybody should be, what I mean, it's like, look, man, I have to always assume that, to me, it's you're overdoing it. So therefore, patient, empathy, and understanding. I think it's going to be, that's the better version of Arthur, because I lack that so much. And every day it's a challenge to try to really get those things and stuff. So I know that once I get there, I'll be a better leader. I look back, I'll be a better leader. I'll be a better person and stuff. So I want to always make sure that I'm trying to grow in that direction. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else likes to share? What's your growth plan?
My growth plan, in the gap, I wanted to also say, because I was trying to answer a message and I am taking notes in between. So when I look down, I'm not listening. I'm taking notes and trying to listen to a message as well, because I just got out of a webinar. So don't think I'm inconsiderate, okay? But anyway, my gap is timing. Sometimes I suffer from procrastination, putting things out and wanting to tackle quicker what'll take a little bit of time, when really I should go forward with the larger project and tackle that. Whether that be training somebody, being patient to figure out what's a good fit for them, marketing, so it's just time management. So that's what I really also say is my growth. I want to grow better at organizing things, as well as hiring people, because it was a season where I was able to, when I was back home, but I'm in a whole nother state, new people. So back home, I was able to hire an assistant, hire somebody to do this. So now I'm trying to adjust. So just breathing and just taking my time to go forward with time managing, and stop trying to just juggle everything myself.
Okay. What do you think are the reasons that you procrastinate? Is there any certain thing that you really procrastinate on?
I think I have time. I think I have time. Like, I can do it tomorrow. And when I get done today. I might not tackle talking to them to help them get through this hump in the road with their business, because I feel like I can do it tomorrow. No, do it today. Get everything done today. And when I'm feeling overwhelmed, just take your time and get everything you can get done today. And don't.
Got you. So Matara, do you like to share with us your growth plan? Is she?
Yeah.
Yep.
Eh, to me, it kind of sounds like vision board. I've done a vision board. I guess that's how I'm kind of relating the growth plan, because it's things that I'm working towards. So it's pretty much the same thing. I want to get more assets and get in cryptocurrency. I kind of just want to I want to elevate and be more informative about the cyber world and I guess AI and stuff, because that's where I feel like we're going. And I want to be able to show my son what to do and give him a path and have knowledge for him to pass down. So I just trying to get more knowledgeable on things I have no clue about.
Okay. I like that. This is related to your dreams and goals on the maybe professional level or life level. But what we mean by growth plan is growing yourself, your awareness from inside, what skills you need to achieve these goals that you are talking about. This is what
Focus. Okay, I got you. So I need more patience and more organization and focus on, one thing at a time.
Okay. Cynthia, you like to share again this week?
This week. This week. I would say is really stay focused on my goals and really every day ignore everything else that doesn't matter, that's not going to help me moving forward. Avoid any distractions, and the way I'm doing that is every day making sure I take time for me in the mornings to just focus and figure out the day and do my personal development, say my write down my goals, because I noticed, I'm one of those people that my mind tends to wander in different directions. And if I don't see it, if I don't write it down, then it kind of disappears. So I have to make sure that I make it my what it was the word I'm looking for. I make sure that every morning I write down everything that I'm trying to accomplish in the next 6 to 12 months.
Yep.
So that's my biggest thing that I have to focus on.
Yep. Something weird happened with me last year. I learned the idea of writing my goals every day. I started with it last year. And I used to wake up in the morning, journal, write my thoughts, and then I start writing my goals and my dreams, like a picture of what I want to achieve in my life. And the weird things, like 50% of the things that I was writing every day happened. And sometimes they weren't really, I never thought they will happen this way, that simple, that easy. But this is the law of attraction. When you really see something in front of you, it will happen. You will attract what you ask for. So writing goals every day, I greatly recommend it. And it's important.
Affirmations.
Yes, like some things I never, like one of the things I wanted to take my daughter in a cruise, and I didn't think that I'm not financially able to go in a cruise, and the time wasn't available. But one day, out from the blue, my uncle came to our house. He said, I met someone who owns a cruise company, and he is offering us 50% discount if you go with him in the cruise. So it was as simple as that. Things happen, and this is one of the tens of things that happen. It's like the universe was listening to me and make things happen. So I really advise you and confirm that it's very important aspect of personal development. Now, our personal development journeys should start with self-awareness, knowing who we are, how we reached this point, and where are we going, where do we want to go. We should have a direction. where do we want to go? Like I say, okay, I want to grow, but if I don't focus where I am going and I don't know what tools I have right now, what are my skills, what are my abilities, I won't be able to achieve what I want to do. So do you feel you have a self or a sense of direction where you want to go in your life?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Will you elaborate or just answer that yes or no?
You can elaborate and you can say just yes or no.
I do. I mean, I think that one of my skill sets, I'm a very disciplined person. I'm outgoing. I'm strong mentally, stuff. So, you know, right now I just see myself, you know, my path right now is to be, I'm just gonna say it. I mean, my path in the next 3 years is to build another $1 million. That's my goal. So everything I do is built around me going and doing that. So why I do that is because the fact I'm focused on passing legacy on to my grandkids, to my kids and grandkids. So I know that I gotta sacrifice what I'm doing now for the better of them. And I'm willing to do that and stuff. I'll live a great life, I think, and stuff. So I think it's just time to really get laser focused on making that happen. So I make sure that everything I do is taking me towards that direction. So all the outside noises, all the things we call radio noise are kind of cut out. And I'm just laser focused on that path towards that. Anything that distracts that, it's not me being intentional. So I got to make sure I'm going in that direction. Yeah.
Okay. My question to you, Arthur, since you have a certain goal and you are walking towards this goal, what are the strengths that will help you go? What are the weaknesses that may limit you from achieving this goal? What is your real, the real opportunities that you are looking for to help you achieve this goal? And what are your interests?
Well, I mean, I think the one thing I challenge with, honestly, is I'm already financially independent. I focus with that. Cynthia knows that. I mean, I've always, you know, that holds me back is my money. I have that. So to me, I have to act like I'm broke. I'm broke. So therefore, I got to say I'm broke. I'm 30 days away from being broke, and stuff. So that's what I got to just be busy on. And what was the question again?
I'm saying, what are your strengths?
Right.
That
So
will make you achieve this goal. What are the weaknesses? And what are the interests and opportunities that you are looking for?
well, I think my strength, like I said, I mean, I kind of go back to my mental toughness. I mean, I used to bodybuild. So, I mean, it takes a discipline. It takes discipline to get, so I can get into, it's a mindset. Everything's really a decision. You have to decide to do it. And then what happens is that what you do every day, you develop the habits to make sure that it happens. Stuff, because our life is based around habits. So if you fall in love with the habits going to get you towards where you're going to achieve, and guess what? You'll do it. So I've made sure that I develop the habits that are healthy enough to get into where I want to go. You know, and interests, I mean, I don't know. I mean, my personal interest in that, I mean, the reason why I do it is because I look at my grandkids. I look at my kids. I mean, I want to be the better. I mean, I do it for them. I just make sure that I'm a better example for my father and my mom and dad. I mean, I don't want to be that guy that lets them down and stuff. So I'm always trying to beat that thing, that person. So my habits are just built around making sure that I achieve what I want to set up to be.
Okay. Yep. Next, who likes to share?
What was can you repeat the question?
What's your sense of direction? Where are you going? Like, where do you see yourself? Why you are growing to achieve what? And at the same time, when you have this destination set, what are the weaknesses that may stop you from going or slow you down? What are the strengths that will empower you to go? And at the same time, what are the opportunities that you are looking for to go to this route?
Well, I hope I understood everything that you asked, but I believe my strengths are just, I can be laser focused. I have commitment. I'm not afraid to do whatever it takes to achieve my goals. and my mental toughness too, like Arthur said, right? When I say I'm going to do something, I've always been the type of person that I do it regardless of the challenges, and that's part of my mental toughness. You know, I don't let little things affect me. Yeah, you know, we're all human beings, especially as girls, and you know, we're some of us are more sensitive than others. We let certain things affect our emotions, and I one of my weaknesses was, and I'm constantly working on this because I'm aware, and you know, I used to make emotional decisions, right? And Arthur knows that. I used to make emotional decisions, and one of the things that I had to learn is that if you're in business, you cannot make emotional decisions. You have to base your decisions in logic, and that was one of my weaknesses, and it affected me. It affected me in my business because of how I used to base my decisions. Now I know that I can't do that, you know. Sometimes things may not be the way I want them to be in my business, and it doesn't feel comfortable, you know, so maybe I don't want it to be that part of my business, but sometimes the things that make you uncomfortable are the ones that are going to make you better in, you know, in the long run. So, so that's, and you know, to summarize it is my mental toughness, my commitment, my dedication, and the things that could stop me is making emotional decisions and not staying focused in my goals and what I need to do, and being distracted by what everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
But I know this, you know, I made a decision. 2020 is our year for our goals that what we're trying to accomplish, and it's coming into fruition every single day I see it. So, because I'm writing my goals every day.
Yeah, they will happen. Okay, Matara or Rachelin?
Yes.
Well,
What?
go ahead, Russia.
You can leave your if you don't have the like noise around you, you can leave your mics unmuted because you will keep talking.
I know. I just don't want things to be beeping, and it's just a habit
Okay.
for me
Okay.
on the webinar because one of my phones beep more than the other phone. But what I know what I want to do and what I'm growing to achieve. So that answer is yes.
Okay.
Elaborate on it a little bit. I'm passionate about helping people, and I currently own my own franchise business, helping people to restore their credit and start their own franchise business, which is led by a credit attorney. So I'm looking to help more people. I'm looking to position myself, like the gentleman said, to leave a legacy behind for my family and to get more into real estate investing, into ownership, as well as helping more people realize what their passion and their God-given talent is, give and give, to have them walk into their overflow. And I don't know all what God has in store for me, but I'm just walking more into our relationship, making our relationship deeper, to know exactly what all He placed inside of me.
That's nice. What do you think is the weakness that may limit you or slow you down from achieving the dreams that you are aspiring for?
My weakness can be when I'm not selective of the environments that I place myself in, when I'm not selective of the things that I allow myself to look at. We're doing a lot of things virtually. I don't come on to everybody's platform. I don't come on to every invitation because you don't know what's on it. I don't read everybody's posts. I don't look at everybody's, you know, I'll be very selective what I allow to enter into my gates.
Yes,
And
because it can be really toxic.
Right. And especially in these hours, you know, so I just try to stay around those that are very empowering. Like your platform, it sounds to be very empowering, uplifting, making you think ahead, and not getting consumed about getting overwhelmed by the things that's going on around me that I have no control over.
Okay.
So that can be a weakness when I don't guard those things, when I'm not selective of those matters and thinking that, oh, it's just because, no, because it can affect me. It can affect how I handle my business throughout the day, and it can affect me. It really can affect me and other people that I'm attached to.
That's right. Yeah. And sometimes you feel like there's social like responsibility that you can't block someone or remove him from your past, but sometimes it's really important, even if he was a person close to you or in your close family, sometimes you need to remove his toxicity from your profile or from your life. So this is a struggle when you meet a relative and he says, you blocked me on Facebook.
Not just blocking them, or not just so much as toxic, small minds also.
Yes.
I don't need to hear things that I already know in this small talk. You know, we're going to another level. I want you to pick my brain, like make me think. Don't talk about just simple-minded things. Oh, I can't wait to get a car. Really? Are you going to do a deposit on it? Because if you having to do a down payment, we need to talk about you signing and driving. You know, so I want to talk about bigger things.
Yeah.
I want to a lot, you know, bigger things. Stop talking small talk. Like, no, broaden your horizon.
You are the average of 5 people you spend the most time with. So
Yes.
it really affects what you achieve with the people you spend your time with. Matara, your turn. She's moving around. What are you doing?
He's walking.
She's like she's dancing and doing moves.
Yeah, I got two toddlers. I'm running around and trying to make sure everybody's not doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing. He's preoccupied right here. I heard him sneeze and had to run up here.
No, this is an example of people who don't stop for have excuses. Like she has all these things around her and she's still attending. Thank you for that.
Oh yes, for sure. That's one thing. I mean, when I want to do something, I want to do something, and I do it, and I do it to the end, no matter how hard it is or how difficult it is. I just don't like to give up. I'm a fighter, and I'm a lover and a peacemaker. You know, I like to, whenever there's a lot of strife around me or anything, I'm the one to say, let's just calm this down. Let's get it together. Let's think of another way. I like to also look at things from other people's point of views or think outside of myself, because I know I'm human and, you know, I have biases or everything else, but, you know, you have to look at things from different angles to get a different perception, to get a better understanding. And that's what I choose to do a lot. I might do it too much, but like overthink or something. But my weakness though, I would say, is emotional. I'm very emotional. Like I'm very passionate. So, you know, a situation or the energy in the room changes my feelings, my tones, like it affects me, my speech, everything, my stomach. I get,
Yeah.
It's it's overwhelming, the emotional part of everything.
Yep. Now, it's weird you talked about emotional, and sometimes it's important to follow your emotions, especially when you are choosing something that you need to do in your life. I will get back into that later. Let's stay on track with the things that we are discussing. People are of 3 kinds. The first kind is the people who don't know what they like to do. And I'm sure this is not the case here. So they are doing a certain task, a certain job. They are always whining about it. They don't like it. They throw away a lot of negativity. And at the same time, they think this is the only way I have to live. and they spend all their lives stuck in this dilemma, in this routine, and they just dabble around. They don't know what they are doing day after day. The second kind are the people who know what they like to do, but they don't do it. Either they procrastinate, either they feel they worry that doing this may take them away from their family, will create some haters around them. They are scared that they may fail. So usually these people don't follow on their dream because they are scared or they have a lot of limitations. That's why we discussed before what are the strengths and weaknesses that you have in your to pursue your dream. And the third type of people who like what they who like to do what they are doing right now. So they like something and they are doing it. And these are the people that are really fulfilled in their life and they are achieving things, because if you don't like something, you can't achieve it. And this is the point of emotions. Sometimes mentally you are convinced that this is the right way for something that you need to do. But if you don't feel inside the passion and the happiness while doing this thing, you can't achieve it. So there's always should be a balance between the mindset and the emotions in pursuing what do you want in life. You have to know who you are to grow your potential. But also you have to grow to really know who you are. So notice the mix between these two. You need to know who you are in order to grow your potential, but at the same time you have to grow to know who you are. So understanding yourself, raising this awareness about who you really are, happens when you start the journey of self-development and asking yourself the right questions and understanding, reflecting every day of the things that you want to pursue in life. There are 4 areas that affect people and help them achieve success, and John Maxwell call it how to be a real success. Real is the acronyms of the 3 words: relationships, attitude, relationships, equipping, attitude, and leadership. So how are you as a leader measuring or improving yourself in these 3 factors that are relationships, equipping, attitude, and leadership? Is my question clear?
Yes. I mean, if you talk about one, relationships, I think it's important. I think who you associate with. I think association starts everything. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you gotta understand. I like to say, you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person, right? So you got to make sure that your relationships are aligned to where to who you're trying to become, right? Okay. Number 2, you said equip. How do you equip yourself? It means that what do I do? How do I make sure I'm doing that? So it depends on what is personal development. It may be meditation. It may be bringing people into your organization that can help you get there. So you want to make sure that it's like building a house. You got to make sure you got all the right things in place so that when you start to build it, they're there for you, right? Number 3, attitude is everything. Your attitude is everything, right? So, and it starts with you. That attitude starts with you, nobody else. So if you want to control your mindset, you have to adjust your attitude. Yep. Number 4, in leadership, is then, all those things encompassing that. As a leader, we got to make sure that we're displaying those acts, right? So we got to make sure that we're constantly in tune to how we feel and what we're doing, because that has a humongous impact around our association, whether you're either adding to the problem or you're part of the problem. So you got to make sure all those things are kind of aligned with one another.
Yes. Now, if you notice something, the 4 aspects are 3 of them are depending on the people around you. Relationships, it mainly depends on 2-way communication. Equipping is equipping yourself, and at the same time, he means equipping other people around you, because you can't achieve success by yourself. You have to have a team around you that will help you achieve what you want. So it's important to keep in mind to train and equip and delegate anything you can do to other people. And then attitude, that's the only thing that's related to you. And leadership, it's also influence and communication with other people. So as Rachelin said before, that to achieve what you want to achieve, you need to surround yourself with the right people, the right conversations every day. You know who are the people you are acting with. Let me continue with you, Cynthia. How are you controlling or measuring your improvement in these 4 aspects?
I think, well, I don't think, I really watch my relationships, you know, who I'm around most of the time, and they have to be, obviously we have our families and our parents who may not have the same thoughts, the same, you know, everything that we want to be surrounded by. But those are, you know, those are people that we just gotta love. However, when it comes to your goals, your business, things that you want to accomplish, the relationships and the people that you're working with means a lot, because that can bring you, give you the right tools. You have to be able, in my opinion, you have to be able to learn or leverage each other when it comes to those relationships. You know what I mean? So if most of the time the people that you're with, if you guys can leverage each other, or you can learn from that person, or that person can learn from you, and together you actually, whether it's 2 people, whether it's 10, 100, and all together are accomplishing bigger things because of what all of you guys bring together, that's powerful, right? But if that doesn't exist, and you're in a group where it really sucks the energy, and you're not learning, it's not helping you leverage each other, then you can get stuck. How do I equip myself? Well, is by doing a lot of reading, by doing my masterminds. Like,
okay.
I think, I mean, this is very valuable stuff. It may be a lot of things that we've known, but just, you know, talking about it and hearing different opinions is awesome. Doing my readings, my affirmations, writing my goals, and doing more audio and all that stuff, that equips me, right? And
Yeah.
talking to the right people and learning.
What about equipping others?
If I don't bring value to others, that means I have to work on myself. And so if I'm bringing value to other people, that means that I'm giving the tools, I'm equipping them, right? Okay. I'm teaching them things so that in my business to be independent. I'm teaching them how to be able to be independent from me, how to do things, or at the same time, how to be able to work together, you know, because there's people that don't know how to work in a team, and there's people that that's all they know, and they don't know how to be independent. So my attitude, I believe I have, now that's one thing that I think we all can improve, but I have good attitude most of the time. I have a positive and happy attitude, and you know, but I can learn to be a little bit more stern sometimes. And as far as leadership is one of my strengths as well.
Yeah, I like that. John Maxwell, by the way, says about equipping, if it's lonely at the top, then you are doing something wrong. You can't advance by yourself. You have to lift people up with you. If you were the only leader and you didn't grow leaders around you, then you are doing it wrong. You have to be a successful leader. You have to grow leaders with you. Rachelin, Matara, are you with us? She's eating.
Yes, I am. Yeah, my son just got her.
It's okay.
But yes, I am listening. I oh
Okay, can you
I'm
answer right now or you want to skip?
yeah. I I'm actually reading this book
Laws
as
of
well.
leadership. Yep.
Yeah. And it's very powerful. It's really awesome. But um I'm sorry.
Which is your favorite law so far about laws of leadership?
What's my favorite? I'm sorry. Role.
Law. This is the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership.
Which law? The law
Lao.
of
Yes, this is
attraction.
the accent that I'm looking for. Lao.
The law of attraction.
Attraction. Yeah, we talked about it before. So it's you attract who you are and the people you.
Yeah.
You're silent, Rachel, you're laughing at me, but you're silent.
She's eating.
I know. I'm tickled. She said, that's the accent we looking for. Loud.
I'm trying, I'm spending like an hour every day trying to read the right accent and listen and then say it back, but it will take time.
No, you need to keep your own accent. We
Right,
gotta
I
catch
was
up
just
with
gonna
you.
say that. Just stay the same. I love your accent. I love the way
Yes.
you talk.
Don't
Thank
change
you.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I
So,
love it.
Real, how are you equipping yourself through relationships or measuring or improving yourself through relationship, equipping, attitude, and leadership?
Well, I go off energy, so I kind of give back what I give back what I have received from people. Sometimes I might give more than I receive, depending on the circumstances. But I like to pour into people, and it happens to come back to me, as well. But just spread love and positivity and encouragement. You have to encourage one another.
Yeah.
And my attitude, I have a glass halfway full or all the way full type attitude. So it's I just try not to dwell in negativity and sadness and sorrow. It doesn't get you anywhere. And positivity and perseverance, it just brings so much. You just get a lot out of it. Things,
Yeah.
actions, a lot of action.
Well, we are talking about attitude, and all of you were saying about attitude, and you have a good attitude. What's the example of a good attitude for a leader? What does this stand for?
So I would say that you have, someone under you or employee who just always has something negative to say or has a down spirit. You have to be upbeat, uplifted. You have
Okay.
to change it, the dynamics of it.
So helping others and being uplifting to others, equipping others if you want, supporting, not judgmental. Okay, what are the bad attitude of a leader?
Think they know everything.
I think a bad attitude of a leader is when you buy into the negativity of the people around you. And I say that, and I say because I have leaders in the Marine Corps that come to my office all the time, and they start to buy into what their subordinates are saying. And I ask the question: are you leading them, or are they leading you? So therefore, who's leading who? There's no direction, because I can tell you when you get over 1,000 people that you lead, you got a mixed up emotions. Everybody's trying to find a way. So as the leader, if you're out there trying to just be alone with everybody else, and everything falls apart. So that's to have a bad attitude. So because you always, and that comes too, I would say, bad leaders' attitudes come because you want to be liked. If you want to be liked, you can't be a leader. You're always trying to find the next person that you can relate to, so they think good about you. but when it comes down to it, they never follow you. And you find yourself always mixed up. So buying into all the negativity, buying into everybody is a bad attitude of a leader.
Okay. Cynthia, what do you think is a good attitude for a leader or a bad attitude? Or both?
I think a leader has to be predictable. You know, you have to be able to say, okay, and approachable. You know, you got to be able, a leader cannot be up and down, like, you know, emotional and sad one day or really happy. And then, oh, what's going on with this person? Now she's really happy or she's very emotional. It has to be, you got to have an attitude of, what's it called? We say here in the business, right? Don't get too high on the highs, too low on the lows, just stay even, right? And then people can say, you know, I know I can approach this person because I'm going to get the professional, I'm going to get the leader that I want. And you're not going to get a negative attitude. It's just a professional attitude that you can count on every single day, you know, and but also be the leader that can celebrate the people, celebrate others, you know, that you celebrate your what is it, Arthur, that we were reading? All your successes. We have to be able to learn to celebrate our own successes, even if they're little, you know. Sometimes we pay attention to everything that we don't have, but we ignore what we've accomplished. And we have to be able to celebrate those things. But not only us, we also have to celebrate the people that we're leading, you know, and they gotta know that you take the time to celebrate them and that you pay attention to what they're doing and that you acknowledge their little successes. So that's, to me, a good attitude of, when we're talking about the attitude of a leader, that's what I think about.
Okay. Matara, Reshlin.
Me just being a leader and working with different people to help them grow their business. My main focus that I paint as a good leader is being someone that pour into them, and I'm actually showing them what I'm actually expecting out of them. I don't tell them to do anything that I have not done. I also try to show them other people that they can reach out to. I feel like Monteria has said, I almost said Queen Monteria because she just left our other platform, but also just letting them know that you're not a person that knows everything, but to be a good leader, you want to birth good leaders. So you're letting them know that, hey, you can go out and get other information, but if you see that I'm lacking as a leader, don't hesitate to pour into me. But I also to be that leader that stands for something and understand that I'm not falling for any and everything, because life is going to send you challenges and changes. And some people can go through a situation, but the situation take control of them, and now start affecting what they supposed to do in performance. And they want you to have a pity party with them. And being a leader, you have to be able to deal with different personalities. I'm not going into that pity party with you. Like, you got to get it together. I don't know CPR, so you're going to have to do your own mouth to mouth. So I need you to come up out of this. You know, so, being a leader, I feel like whatever you stand on and whatever you stand for, you need to stand firmly on that. Don't be moved. Don't be shaken by it, because people are trying to come and swindle you and manipulate you and try to make you think that you're doing your leadership wrong. No, you need to get a backbone, because after I keep listening to you, you're just all over the place, you know? So being a leader, you have to deal with different personalities, and you have to be ready to pour into people at their own level, because you can't and help people on the same level. And if you want to birth other good leaders, you have to be open. You have to be a good listener. and you have to be receptive to change. A horrible leader don't get nothing. They're not receptive to growth. They think that they are where they have arrived and you have not arrived. We are still always a growing process, but a bad leader, I feel like also what you guys were pointing out about an attitude. A bad leader could not understand someone saying that, hey, I noticed you did such and such. You know, maybe you do need to get a self-check. You know, maybe somebody can give you some nuggets that you can use. You know, so a bad leader would understand that. You know, someone telling. So that's what I feel a good and a bad leader is.
Can I jump back on that?
Yep.
I agree with everything you said, but I also, one thing I think we need to be aware as leaders is the source. So if you're gonna, who's ever checking you, consider the source it's coming from, because it may be somebody that you won't even hear from. So we got to make sure that it's like the source is coming. It's like if I'm talking to you, it's like it's like I listen to Shaquille O'Neal. He said, I have a panel of people. I have 4 panel of people. And those are who I listen to. When they say you're screwed up, I know that means screwed up. So if I listen to everybody, I'm moving as a leader all over the place. So I have to be firm, fair, consistent, and I have to develop a character so they understand that when they come in front of me, I'm gonna listen to you. But understand that when you understand my character, if you're coming from a place I know that you've been there, and sometimes people try to move you because they want you to become who they are, or lessen the tension on them. So therefore, oh man, you're too strict. What do you mean by too strict? You trying to say I have a high standard? Because strict and standards are different. So I got to make sure that you understand that maybe because I'm asking you to become something better than what you are, in order for you to become a better leader, therefore I have to stretch you. And some people they're not ready for that and stuff. So we as leaders got to be understanding that, hey, there's going to be somebody in that circle that you're going to leave behind a little bit, because they're not ready to raise their standards or and it's what it is, right? And stuff. So, but those are all great points. But I say I have to make sure that what's coming into my ears are from people that I know that I want to be.
Right. No, I agree with you. That's why I said you have to stand firm on what you believe in. Not to say whatever they bring me out, oh, let me change this, let me change that. No, absolutely not, because that's not what I stand for. So yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah. Now, later in this chapter, there's discussion about mentorship and how important it is to have a mentor, and at the same time to be mentoring other people, and how important it is to choose who is your mentor, and at the same time to choose who are you mentoring, because not all people are mentees kind. They don't listen, they don't want to learn, and they may stop you. And at the same time, not all people, maybe they are great mentors, but they don't match your personalities, or not able to talk to your, what's this?
Cookies.
Oh.
I haven't ate all day. I'm sorry.
It's okay, that's okay. That's okay. And let's see you eating. It's okay. So
that's good.
We talked about the people who most of the time do the things they don't like to do just because of their circumstances. They need this income. Or do you like what you are doing right now? How much are, from 1 to 10, let's say, I know you are happy with what you're doing and you are satisfied, especially this group, but how much you are satisfied with what you're doing? And if you have to choose another thing to do, what you really inside wish you can be right now?
On a scale of 1 or scale on a 20, or how you want to scale that?
Now, 1 to 10, how much you are satisfied with where you are right now, what you are doing, not your situation, but how much happy you are doing your work. And at the same time, if you had a choice to be someone else, who would you like to be? As a career, not a person.
I'm a 10. If you ask me who else I want to be, my father. Mm-hmm. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do. I love it. I have a passion. It's not even, people say the price of me is small because I love it. So, I mean, I get up in the morning, I look forward to coming to the office every day. I look forward to talking to people, look forward to having conversations and stuff. So if I had to be somebody else, I would want to be my father, a better version of him. So I strive to be just like him. And stuff,
Okay.
because I understand what he done throughout the journey, helping people and mentoring and doing what he did for the community. I want to be I want to be a better version of him. Yeah.
What is your message to the people who say or who are doing things they don't like to do?
Well, I say all the time, I say, you got to ask yourself this, why are you doing it first? Because see, sometimes people have if you just doing something without a purpose, if you have a plan, then you just kicking the can down the road. You may be doing you may be where you need to be, but if you ain't got no plan, you got no purpose, then you think you're not. So first, let's try to identify why you're here, what you're looking for, and then see if this is going to be the vehicle that's going to get you there. And sometimes the vehicle is not forever. It may be time for you to jump to another vehicle, but this may be what you need right now to get you to the next vehicle. But if you don't understand what it's doing, if you don't understand the purpose, then of course you can be like, man, it's terrible and stuff. So we got to quickly get you to the point to where you're passionate or you like doing what you're doing. I mean, I think we both can all understand like 85, I'm gonna say probably 70% of the world are working in places they don't like, but
Yep.
it pays the bills. So they go because it pays the bills. They hate it, but it pays the bills and stuff. So I think that it's like, hey, I'm like this too. If you like it, if you hate it, then are you looking for something better or are you just complaining about it too? We can sit on that too as well and stuff. So, but I think that first we need to identify if you know what its purpose is, and then ask yourself if it's going to serve you down the road as well.
Yeah. So sometimes it's important to do things we don't like, but as long as it's a transitional period to move to something better, sometimes it's important to do these things, right? So Cynthia, how much are you satisfied with what you are doing right now?
I love what I do. I love what I do. I mean, I don't see, there's no any other option for me, and I compare it to when I used to have a job, how I liked what I was doing, but I was not happy. I didn't love it. It was just paying the bills, like Arthur
Yeah,
said.
it's tasks you're doing.
Right. I was just doing what I was supposed to do to pay bills. But I was constantly wondering, what else is out there? What else? What else can I do? This is not what I was called to do. So now what I do is my call, and I love it, and it doesn't even feel like when you do something and you feel like it's your mission and it doesn't feel like it's work, like you're going there and you enjoy what you do and you just, I mean, I could be here all night and it still wouldn't feel like it's like work, but I'm not, but I'm just very satisfied. But however, I believe that there's always room to grow. So I know that I could be better, so I always work towards being better and continue to love whatever path I'm heading with the growth that I'm making with what I'm doing.
Okay. Matara?
Yes. I would say I'm at about an 8. I'm actually in a new doing something new that I haven't done before. So it's
Mm-hmm.
exciting and it's also giving back. And I feel like I'm helping in this pandemic. And I also feel like I need to grow more and learn more.
Mm-hmm.
And like I like to be perfect. So I'm trying to perfect my craft right now. And it's helping. It's like therapy, it's like I could be at the machine all night long and not even like if I have nothing else to do, I'll stay right there at the machine all night long and not think about what's going on or not have a care, not sleep, food, anything. I just be doing sewing. So I am fulfilled right now with my new career path and my business and everything, and it's it's feeling good, and I'm excited to see what else I'm gonna do from here.
Okay. If you had a choice to pick something else and you know you will succeed at, what would you rather be?
Mm.
Scientist.
Scientists.
Yeah. I love scientific things. I love to know the root and cause and the happenings and the beginnings of things.
And what is the reason that is stopping you from achieving that?
Oh, that's a lot of reading. A lot more reading. uh,
Brief,
yes,
brief.
a lot more school you got to do.
Okay.
A lot more money you got to pay to go to school.
So those were limiting for you not to continue in achieving what you like to do.
Yes.
Okay. Now, sometimes there are things that you like to do, but they are not possible. You are not good at. So the second best thing to do is to look for the things that you can do and you like to do at the same time. Like, let's say, example, I like to be a professional basketball player, and I don't know how to play basketball. I'm bad at it. So it's not enough to like being this thing, but at the same time, I need to have the minimum skills that will help me achieve what I wanted to do, or succeed in what I wanted to do. So that's why you look for the second good thing that you really like, instead of putting yourself in a situation that you won't get out of and you really feel miserable all your life. There's nothing worse than regret at the end of your life that you didn't enjoy what you are doing every day. So I'm glad you are happy with your new career, and make sure you keep it adventurous, keep it exciting, so that you keep loving it. But once you feel that you are doing it as a task, not as something you have a passion with, you need to look for something else until you find your real passion. Rachelin, I'm saying your name right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I am within alignment of my passion. I am doing something that I'm very passionate about doing. I used to be a jack of a lot of trades and a master of none. So I'm finally I realize what my passion is, and I have stayed within alignment of that. Entrepreneurship has been something that I always loved to do. I didn't really like corporate America. I didn't like working, doing a 9 to 5 that really wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a passion for helping people and understanding what their gift is, because it was a time where I really didn't understand my passion. I didn't understand what my gift was. So I'm really passionate about helping other people carry out what their purpose is, doing what they, like you said, what they really enjoy doing, because you're going to have to go through something. So you might as well go through it where you're going to find manifestation. You're going to find joy. You might as well not even waste time doing something that's not going to really bring you any joy. It's not going to have you feeling fulfilled, because we even see people that's wealthy killing themselves. So we know that being fulfilled is really important, and live a life of purpose. So that's my passion. And yes, I'm happy.
Okay,
I am.
that's good. So can you say I was born for this? All of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yes.
Let me share this quote for Carl Jung. He says, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." I love this quote, and I feel it's all when you raise your awareness inside, understand what is you really in your heart and in your mind at the same time. This is the only time that you will be awakened. You will be living the real dream and achieving what you dream of. What are you doing to achieve what you are doing? It's a weird question. A lot of doings.
I'm exposing myself. I'm gonna go first because I don't want to go last again. And
You are waiting till the last. Let's split the answers. Let's start with your awareness. How much you are aware with the daily choices that will bring you closer to achieve what you want to achieve?
I'm very aware of what will bring me close to achieving things as long as I stay focused on what my goals are and what I have planned out to do. And I don't become easily distracted by things that I don't have any control over. Because when you're walking into your purpose, I believe that things will just come to distract you because you're tapping into your overflow. You're tapping into also helping people, because what I do is help people. Mm-hmm. So life is going to come and try to railroad you and distract you so you can't really carry out your achievement, which my achievement is people.
Okay. When was it the time that you felt that you have to change your direction in order to reach the destination?
When I had to change my direction, I would say when I took the big leap of faith and moved to a whole nother state. I totally changed directions with that and came to a place that was very unfamiliar, where I didn't know anyone longer than a few months. So that's when I changed directions.
But you were still going to the same destination, right? Or you changed the destination to? Destination, I mean the goal that you have, not the place.
My goal, I would say goals did kind of change because I started to realize my passion. Okay. So I had goals in place, but once you realize your passion, then some going to fall off and some are going to stick and stay, because you know that there's some, if it's not in alignment with your passion, why am I going to waste any time? But yes.
Okay. So who can answer how aware are you of the actions that you are doing daily that will bring you closer to your dream?
I'm very aware of the actions I'm doing daily. I've changed my direction since becoming a mother. I know I always worked out in the field, worked for corporate America, worked independent, been entrepreneur. But since I became a mother, I wanted to be at home with my child. So I had to change my direction and make things work at home for me to where I could still reach out to people and do things and make money and be successful and professional. But I wanted to be at home with my child. I didn't want to send him off to childcare, and I want to do homeschooling. So all my direction has changed and geared to being at home and still being an entrepreneur and staying focused and being able to build an empire to leave to him.
Okay. Sometimes you are forced to do some changes in life, but you need to stay on track and knowing where to go. So you may do rerouting, but you make sure you are following the same destination or arriving to the same destination. Cynthia?
So what am I doing right to get to my destination?
Yeah, what the point is, are you following up with the right actions, or how aware are you of your actions that will help you go to the destinations? Maybe there are some things that when you analyze your actions during the day, you will find some things that are really not helping with you going to this destination.
Yes, I definitely am. And again, is, going back to staying focused and what you're trying to achieve and attracting that. So yeah, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing to get to my destination. However, I know there's sometimes there are some distractions, external distractions, obviously, and some things that we have to kind of pivot a little bit and take care of those things and then get back and refocus. You know
Yep.
what I mean? But yeah, I am doing I'm taking the right steps and doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And then when I'm not, I think that we all can be guilty of, okay, I'm wasting time with this, and you just kind of get distracted, and then but you gotta pretty quick get back to what you need to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Arthur?
You know what? I know we gotta get up every day and do it.
Okay.
I know that I get up every day, and I know that what I'm doing every day is to take me close to that goal. How I know I need to shift is when I plateau. So when them habits start producing the results that I want, I got to shift. That means that, okay, now I got to go to here where, for instance, the pandemic, right? We went from face-to-face conversations to now just Zooming. Everything is remote. So now I had to shift. I had to do something different, still working for the same goals. That now that I may have to do more calls, more texting, more something, but it's always shifting and pivoting to make sure that I'm always moving forward. If I'm not, then once again, I have to adjust. Yeah.
Yes, so it's important to always be analyzing and measuring our steps and improvement, because there are certain times, this is the answer I was looking for, it's when we feel we are not going nowhere, we are just working on space, in our space. Do you know the 80-20 rule? I'm sure most of you know it, the 80-20. So 20% of the things that you do in the day, they give you 80% of the results, and the vice versa. 80% of the things you waste your time on, things maybe you can delegate or things you can even postpone and get rid of, are the things that give you only 20%. So it's important to analyze our actions. And Darren Hardy says about one of his tricks to success is writing down not his dreams, not his goals, but the actions he's doing through the day that brings him closer to the dream. Maybe a phone call, maybe a meeting, maybe an email, maybe an article he is reading, but everything that is bringing him closer to his dream, he writes it down every day. He has a journal with him 24/7. So monitoring his actions and reflecting on these actions is the thing that is helping him control his advancement and improve in life and achieve the success he already achieved. So to go where we want to go and do the things that we really like to do, we should first raise our awareness about what we want to do, and at the same time, what are the actions that will help us. The second thing is start acting, not only planning or dreaming. We have to start in action and not wait for perfection, because perfection only comes when we start practicing and working. And then accountability. It's important to share what we are doing with other people, maybe a coach. Write down what we want to do, write down our actions, and always be accountable on what we are doing. Accountability is very important. And then the last thing is attraction. We talked about it. It's in the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. It's a life law of attraction. You attract what you think. You attract who are like you, people who are like you. So, and they say it in a couple of words. You are who you attract. Birds of feather flock together. So there's a lot of examples that prove that this is an important law and true. Do you know any people who achieved the things that you want to achieve in life? Are you surrounding yourself with these people?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am.
Mm. How much you are putting hard work into getting the most out of these people, from experience, from coaching, from knowledge. So how much are you trying hard to surround yourself with this knowledge?
Well, I enjoy being around people who know more than me, period. I always around people older than me, wiser than me, more knowledgeable than me. Um, I like challenges. I like to be pushed beyond my capacity. Then, and once I get past the threshold, it's a great feeling, and it makes me want more and more and more. Um, I know I learn something new every day, so it's always something to learn. There's always knowledge out there, and the more you know, the more equipped you are for situations.
Okay.
I I think when the student shows up, the coach appears. I think that when somebody's seeking you out and constantly, because anything you chasing, they're running. So you spend so much time trying to chase this individual that you waste so much time. So I think that when they're seeking you out is where they see value in you, and where then you put your time into that. But I mean, I just always make, just like me. I know if I want to become better, I'm going to find the person that's going to take me there. I'm
Yep.
going to pick their brain. I'm going to be calling them, hey, what's going on? And I just, and that's just, when you talk about the person, and it's based on what they're done. That's why I always say I'm always going to talk about my father. That's the guy I call all the time. And I said, look, I'm here. I want to go here. And he'll tell me, I don't have that answer, but you can talk to so-and-so. And I know that he talked to so-and-so, so I'm going to talk to so-and-so and get that answer and stuff. So I think that people, when they want something, the initiative, and they find a way. They come find you.
When you start with doing the action, when you have a plan and start acting. Who likes to share? You're done. You're tired. Okay, so mainly it's important to keep in mind that we have to find someone who is a couple of steps out further from us or before us. So we need to learn how he did that, how he achieved what are the struggles. Sometimes it's better to learn from the mistakes and struggles of others to save ourselves this pain and this failure, because failure is something that will happen sooner or later, but there are some steps that we can prevent from passing through if we learned from the mistakes of others. And when successful people see that someone is thirsty for some information, for advice, for mentorship, they are always available to help. And think about yourself. You are a successful person, and if you see someone struggling and asking for your mentorship and help and support and coaching, you can't say no to that. No one can say no to learners. So make sure to surround yourself with people who are before you with their experience, ahead of you. And you need to know that there's nothing, no one knows everything. So this is the important part. We are done for today. I hope you liked this subject. Next week, we will be discussing the law of the mirror, the importance of finding value in ourselves and at the same time giving value to others. Many people don't know the real strength, their needs, power, or the real value. I will post this to the page, Facebook group. I made the Facebook group only to the mastermind, for this mastermind. And these are some of the questions we went over today. And I would really like if you spend some time after this meeting or during this week and answer more details about these questions, because you will find a lot of more information when you dig deep in your soul and in your awareness. You will find that there are some things you need to know more about yourself, or you discover about yourself. So What do you like to do? What talents, skills, opportunities you possess to support you? What are the motives for wanting you to do it? What are steps you must take beginning today to start doing what you want to do? What advice you can get along the way? What prices you are willing to pay? What will it cost in time, resources, sacrifices? Where do you need to grow most? I believe answering these questions will give you really good light about yourself, your soul, and what you need to do. These are my accounts on Facebook, and the group that I talked about is Like-Minded Leaders. I appreciate if you add yourself to the group, join the group, because I will be posting most of the information in the mastermind. And I have my Facebook page, Instagram page, Jafar Dalida, and LinkedIn Dalida Jafar. I'm switching. So thank you, and I love to hear your feedback if you have any questions, and what are the best things that you take from this meeting today?
I think self-awareness.
Yep.
I think self-awareness all day long. I think that without that, where you going? I mean, you gotta be. So yeah, I'm gonna say self-awareness. Yeah.
I would say for me is the being aware of that, exactly what I need to do to accomplish certain goals. Is, I would say for me, to sum it up, is focus. You know, the importance of focus and commitment to your goals.
Okay.
I would say law of attraction, attracting the right like-minded people into my circle to help me grow and go forward as I should. And thank you so much for inviting me here. And I love your accent, and you spoke so well, and your English is perfect.
There are some mistakes. You know, the point is I think in Arabic and I try to translate in English. So sometimes after I say the word, I notice, oh, I can.
No, it flows. I don't hear it. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how you speaking so well, and you saying you speak Arabic.
Yeah, no, it's my second language, English, but we don't practice speaking daily. It's only in the school. So writing, in my English and writing is perfect, but I'm not fluent in speaking it because I don't have the practice, and practice makes perfect. So I need some time. I'm fine. I'm confident.
You're doing good. I
Thank
mean, you speak better than I do, I feel like.
you.
I appreciate the ladies that, you know, Shaylin and Matara, because you guys are on the East Coast. It's 10:30 over there. So
Yes.
that says a lot about you guys. So I appreciate
Oh,
you.
Yeah, thank you. She put her kids to sleep and she gave them a dinner and while in the meeting. Really, we appreciate that. So, Rachelin, what do you like to share?
I really like how you spoke about the gaps, making us realize the things that were our weakness, where we can actually work on them. And you also gave us supportive things of what we can go forward with doing. Just wanting to be better. This is a great idea, great platform that you're doing for other people to make them think about what they're doing and to move with purpose. So,
yep.
Love it.
Thank you so much for joining, and I would love to see you next week. We will be discussing the law of a mirror, where you must see value in yourself and give value to others. So I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining us today, and hope to see you next week.
And
yep.
Also, what is her name? Mrs. World Class Financial. I was trying to get exactly what you guys do in the midst of trying to do like 2 or 3 things. And I was messaging the gentleman And I asked him, but I was about to ask you, but you were about to close out. I'm like, oh Jesus!
No,
So
I sent it to you on Facebook Messenger. I just sent it to you.
okay, and I would also like to know more about what it is that you do as well, because I do help people get their credit restored.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to see what it is that you do as well, ma'am.
Oh, me? Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm actually in the same industry. My name is Cynthia Moore. I'm sorry, Cynthia Moore. And I'm in the same, I'm in business with Arthur. So we're business partners here in California. We run a very successful firm, and yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize that my name wasn't there.
That's okay. That's okay.
She's actually one office over right now. We're both in the same office.
He's on the other side.
She's in a different office space.
Ah.
Yeah, we're in different offices. Yeah.
So it's one team, same mindset, and
I like your energy, Rashaylin. I like your energy. You seem very positive and driven, and I love your background.
Thank you.
Yes, you got our information. You can hit it up, and we'll talk offline. We'll figure it out. Absolutely.
Okay.
Hey,
Sounds great.
and you did an awesome job. Once again, you knocked it out of the park. Thank you for leading this. I wasn't last week. I had some appointment stuff, but most definitely going to make a conscious effort to make sure I'm involved in this and stuff. And it's always good to meet new people. It gets you thinking. I think that's very important and stuff. And so I really welcome this. I really do. So I try to find the right people. I mean, it's got to be to come into this. I don't want people whose minds ain't right to be in this group. It's got to be people we all want to feel like they're going to the next level. That's me. Yep. I want to make sure around people, the conversation is right and stuff. And I know where your mindset is. I know where you're trying to go. And how you say your name? Ralishan?
Rashaylin.
So I was just connected with so many different people due to the fact of this platform and stuff. It's always great to be able to reach across state lines, right? And reach out. It's funny how this Zoom things work, right? And we would have never known each other. So I just tell people this pandemic has brought people together. It's brought, intersecting, building, partnership, collaboration is so important if you want to be successful. And you ain't got to be in the same field to go out and build a relationship and go forward and stuff. So thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you and having an ongoing conversation. And good night, everybody.
Bye. Good night.
Thank you. Good night, Queens. Bye.